So what is going on, my dudes? It's the Grass Ninja. We are hitting another chapter prediction video, tackling chapter 64. So, before we enter, the whole predictions part of the video, just want to go ahead and say, right now, go ahead, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment of what your predictions are and all that stuff, and let's get into the video. Alright, so here's what we're gonna start. We're gonna recap the end of 63. So we last left off. Code beat Boruto. The two are fighting. Code is dominating in the fight. Explains that Boruto is an amateur, a novice when it comes to using the Karma Seal. Proceeds to activate his Karma Seal and explains that the true essence of Karma is being able to tap into the millennia of battle experience and power from the Sasuke that your Karma Seal basically was granted to you by, right? So, what are my predictions going into chapter 64, knowing that when Boruto and Code are facing off and he explains how the true power of Karma goes on, and then Boruto activates his true Karma transformation, and we see that he's completely conscious with Byakugan, and these two are basically about to fight. What do I think is going to happen? Alright, so first thing in the chapter, I think the chapter is actually going to start off with some intel perspective of like Naruto's point of view. So I'm expecting reinforcements to be like sent out. We're going to basically get check up on Naruto and his end of things, and he's going to issue like, a squad to go save Boruto and Kawaki and stuff, and he'll probably lead that squad and stuff like that. So reinforcements are on the way, right? And there's some evidence that we can like look towards from like previous chapters. So like Naruto already like has told Ino to expand the range of the village's chakra sensory bubble, right? Which should eventually detect wherever Boruto and Code are fighting, right? We know they're on the edge of the village somewhere. So when they discover Boruto and Kawaki and that they're being confronted by Code's like unregistered chakra, they'll send word to Naruto and Sasuke about their location, right? So they might not even. The crazy thing is, though, is that they may not even recognize Boruto's chakra since he'll be using Momoshiki's chakra. So like, that could turn into like a whole thing where it's like even more urgent because they're like, there's two Osutsuki level chakras like over here or something like that. So that might mess everybody up. But lastly though, like Boruto and Kawaki's bodyguard like told them that like if they were to like if Code were to show up, the reason those bodyguards are there is to inform Naruto and Sasuke where they are, so that they can like rendezvous to that location basically. Alright, my next thing though, like when we actually get into the whole fight of Boruto versus Code in chapter 64, I'm expecting Boruto's use of the Byakugan to like come into play heavily and potentially completely hard counter Code's whole claw mark teleportation fighting style. Alright, so Boruto's power from like this whole like true essence of the karma thing, or his true karma, like it might actually be more powerful than what Code was even anticipating, because at the end of 63, Code doesn't seem phased at all. He actually seems happy that Boruto's using this level of power, because he's like, I can fight you at this level now, and I don't have to hold back as much anymore. But we don't know, like, what I'm saying? So we understand that like it's possible though that this form might actually turn out to be more powerful than Code had anticipated originally, since bless you, man. You gotta stop sneezing, my dude. Shout out to the Rolo guys. Shout out to the Rolo fam. Leave a like so Rolo will stop sneezing, okay? Awesome. Alright, so where were we? We were talking about the whole Boruto thing, right? We're always talking about Boruto. But yeah. So the whole thing is that like Boruto and Code, when they're fighting, it's possible Code will just like completely underestimate Boruto entering the fight, thinking that he's gonna be superior anyway since Boruto is just a child. But then since Boruto has access to Byakugan in this mode and appears to be completely conscious, like it's possible Boruto is going to like be superior to Code when it comes to using the karma, because Code doesn't have access to Byakugan since he isn't actually Otsutsuki-fying, the same way Kawaki and Boruto were. Okay, so keep that in mind, right? And interestingly, Kawaki actually comments on Boruto sleeping a lot better back in chapter 61. So this could mean that like Boruto's gotten over some of this anxiety and some of this fear that Momoshiki might like attempt to take over, right? And like he'll like no longer be hesitant to push the limits of his new karma form, right? So it's most likely like they'll explain it like maybe the pills are like giving him some like extra confidence to be able to use Momoshiki's power more recklessly or more like riskily, however you want to think of it, because he's assuming the pills are counteracting the whole Otsutsukification thing, right? So it's possible like Boruto's able to even adapt though throughout the fight, like because we know Boruto's super talented, right? So it's possible for him to adapt throughout the fight, and I'm expecting Boruto in this new transformation to perform like extremely well. Okay, so when he was possessed by Momoshiki, Boruto was able to evade the Amaterasu, right? Giving him reaction speeds up there with like the fourth Raikage. And in base, Boruto was able to like locate where Code would appear from in combat to like avoid one of Code's like counter sneak attack things, right? So like with granted he had help from like Kawaki like calling out like Code's location, but like still he was able to react and counter Code's little vanish from a claw mark, teleport behind you with another claw mark thing. So add those two things on top of the fact that Boruto is now going to have his Byakugan, right? And what's it called? Boruto could possibly track Code's like claw marks and like his whole sneak attack patterns, being able to like see in near 360 degrees, leaving virtually like no blind spots for Code to exploit, along with access to like Momoshiki's millennia of combat experience, the Hyuga clan training from Hiyashi, Hinata, and like Hanabi, plus like his loads and loads of like raw talent, skills, and just natural potential. In theory, like Boruto using this form might actually be a trickier fight for Code than Code's like making it out to be, and like Boruto might just be able to simply like outmaneuver the whole claw mark teleportation thing with access to Byakugan, alright? And like that's just how I'm perceiving the fight. Like Byakugan like might actually turn out to be like lethal during this chapter, so look out for that. And then lastly, when it comes to the whole reinforcements and who's actually going to enter the battle, I'm assuming Sasuke is going to show up. So the whole reason like Kawaki even forced this whole situation with Code is because like he's like flashing back to like what Amado told him about how Amado doubts Naruto will be able to take on Code or like take down Code as easily as he did when Naruto fought Delta. He's telling Kawaki it's not going to be the same kind of fight. And then like when you flip to the very next page, like the very next page follows up with Sasuke investigating Code's claw marks, right? So like working with the and like Sasuke's like investigating the claw marks with the squads that are tasked on like monitoring their like various locations. So like with Ino, like supervising the whole chakra sensory bubble thing, right? She can easily like broadcast a message out to like all the essential players on Code's hit list, informing them of like what she would assume is Code's like potential presence in the village, as well as like providing Naruto and Sasuke with like a location of like Code and Boruto's fight basically. And I'm assuming like that whole fight is gonna get interrupted by the arrival of like either a whole platoon of like Konoha ninja, or preferably Sasuke, be one of the first ones on the scene, try to halt the whole fight. Probably like just entering the whole scene would be like, yeah, no, it would be cool. Like, yeah, so like the whole fight is playing out, and then the whole chapter comes to like some cliffhanger with like Sasuke showing up to the fight because Ino's been like has relayed the information, and Sasuke just happened to be the closest one in the area type thing, something like that, because we already know he's investigating all of Code's claw marks and he's looking for potential spots he would think he would pop up. So expect Sasuke to show up, or expect Naruto and a squad of ninja to be on their way. And yeah, so lastly though, like the weird thing is though is that like I'm expecting like Sasuke to be the first one on the scene, but like I want him to like halt the fight during like some critical point in the fight, all right? Like so like or in some dramatic moment of like the whole Boruto versus Code thing, showing up like in chapter like maybe 65 or like at the very end of 64 as a cliffhanger, and like like what sort of like dramatic critical moment like I'm leaning towards like Code being that guy to try to take out Boruto's eye. Alright, because like Boruto with this true karma and the Byakugan, he may prove to be like low key annoying enough for Code that he just outright decides to try to take out the Byakugan, right? Like I don't think that what happened in like I don't know, I don't think like his eye will get taken out in chapter 64, but I definitely think in this fight Code's gonna be that guy who tries to take out Boruto's eye, considering like I mean, I just don't think it'll happen in 64, considering that we're coming close to the end of the year, right? So like, hopefully by like chapter 65, the chapter we get in December, we'll see like Boruto get his scar, and then like we can like end off the year by like ending like this or concluding this fight and like transitioning into the time skip or something like that. Yeah, because like I definitely want to see that happen. So I'm thinking we're gonna like in this fight in general. Boruto might get a scar from Code. So, chapter 64, maybe chapter 65, okay? But yeah, man, that's all we got for this one. That's my predictions for chapter 64. We got lots of stuff that's going on, man. So, recap, what I'm saying? Reinforcements, they're definitely on the way. Boruto's Byakugan, probably hard counters Code's claw mark whole fighting style. We just have to wait and see. And I definitely think Sasuke is probably going to enter the battle at some point to try to help out and support. And yeah, man, let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you made it all the way to the end. I've been your man, the Grass Ninja, back at it again every day, every week. Psych, nah.